Do you feel your mind isn't as sharp as it used to be? That brain fog feeling, where thoughts seem sluggish. Words vanish from the tip of your tongue, and concentration becomes a Herculean task. This is a real and increasingly common health problem, especially for those of us over 50. It's not just misplacing your keys. It's a frustrating loss of mental clarity that affects work, conversations, and confidence. Many dismiss it as simply aging, an inevitable consequence of time. But modern science is beginning to reveal that, in many cases, this fog isn't just in our heads, but is deeply connected to our body's nervous system. If you've ever felt this way, know that you're not alone. And if this content resonates with you, consider subscribing for more science-based health tips. The good news is, there are ways to combat this feeling. The internet is rife with promises, but today we'll focus on an approach that's catching researchers' attention. A simple, physiology-based trick that can help clear this fog in minutes. The key lies in understanding the communication between our brain and our body. A two-way street controlled by a surprisingly powerful nerve. The idea that we can directly influence our mental clarity through a physical action might sound like science fiction, but it's grounded in decades of research on how our stress state impacts cognitive function. The communication pathway I mentioned is dominated by a central player in our nervous system, the vagus nerve. Think of it as your body's largest and most important information highway, connecting your brain to virtually every vital organ in your torso, including your heart, lungs, and crucially, your gut. It's the main component of the parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest system. In contrast, we have the sympathetic system, the fight or flight system, preparing us for action and stress. The problem with modern life, with its constant pressures, is that we live with the fight or flight system chronically activated. This suppresses vagus nerve activity. Research published in journals like Frontiers in Psychiatry shows that low vagal tone, a measure of this nerve's activity, is associated with a host of problems, including chronic inflammation, depressed mood, and yes, cognitive difficulties, like brain fog. When the vagus nerve isn't functioning optimally, communication between the gut and brain is impaired. Inflammation levels in the body and brain can rise, and blood flow to brain areas responsible for focus and decision-making can be reduced. It's a cascade effect that culminates in that feeling of your brain operating in slow motion. Therefore, the trick to fixing your brain fog in 3 minutes isn't magic, but rather a technique to deliberately reactivate and strengthen your vagus nerve. So, how exactly can a nerve running through our torso have such a rapid and profound impact on our mental clarity? The scientific mechanism is fascinating and relies on direct stimulation. The vagus nerve has countless nerve endings in different parts of the body, and some of these are surprisingly accessible. When we activate these endings, we send a powerful signal back to the brain, essentially saying, "It's okay. You can come out of alert mode. It's safe to relax and think clearly." One of the most effective ways to do this is through breathing and vibration in the throat area, where the vagus nerve runs close to the surface. The technique we'll explore uses deep diaphragmatic breathing combined with light vocalization. Slow, controlled breathing, focused on expanding the abdomen, mechanically massages the vagus nerve as it passes by the diaphragm. More importantly, a long, slow exhale is a universal signal of safety to the mammalian nervous system, lowering heart rate and blood pressure. The addition of a vibration, like humming or chanting, directly stimulates the muscles of the larynx and pharynx, which are densely innervated by branches of the vagus nerve. This vibration acts like a local reset, generating a flow of parasympathetic signals that travel up the vagal highway to the brainstem. From there, the effects spread, reducing the production of stress hormones like cortisol and releasing calming neurotransmitters like acetylcholine, which has anti-inflammatory properties. It's important to be honest about the strength of the available evidence. While the concept of fixing brain fog in 3 minutes with a simple neural trick is a powerful headline, the science behind it is more about modulation and regulation than an instant cure. There aren't large-scale, randomized controlled trials proving that a 3-minute exercise permanently eliminates brain fog for everyone. However, the evidence supporting the components of this technique is robust and growing. Research on slow, deep breathing, for instance, published in journals like the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine, consistently demonstrates its ability to increase heart rate variability, HRV, a key biomarker of vagal tone. Higher HRV indicates a more resilient and adaptable nervous system, capable of efficiently switching between stress and relaxation states. Likewise, Studies on vagus nerve stimulation (VNS), including non-invasive methods, show promising results in treating depression, anxiety, and reducing inflammatory markers. The technique we're discussing is a very gentle, self-applicable form of non-invasive VNS. So, what can we realistically expect? Acute, temporary relief. The 3 minutes can provide an immediate sense of calm, grounding, and enhanced mental clarity as the fight-or-flight system is dialed down. The true benefit, however, comes from consistent practice, which strengthens vagal tone over time. Now that we understand the scientific why behind this technique, let's get to the how. Safe and effective implementation is key to achieving the desired results. I'll guide you step by step through this 3-minute exercise. If you're finding this step-by-step guide helpful, please give the video a like. It helps us know what kind of practical content you enjoy most. First, find a comfortable position. You can sit in a chair with your feet flat on the floor and your spine upright, or you can lie on your back. The important thing is that your body is relaxed. Gently close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your abdomen, just below your rib cage. This will help you feel the movement of your breath. The goal is for the hand on your abdomen to move more than the hand on your chest. Now, let's begin. Inhale slowly through your nose, counting to 4. Feel the air fill your lungs and your abdomen expand like a balloon, pushing your hand upward. Try to keep your chest relatively still. Hold your breath for a brief pause, perhaps counting to 2. Now, the most important part. Exhale very slowly through your mouth, counting to 8, or as long as is comfortable without forcing. As you exhale, make a soft, vibrating sound, like an hum or a voo. Feel the vibration in your throat and chest. This combination of the long exhale with vibration is what directly stimulates the vagus nerve. Continue this cycle for about 3 minutes. Inhale through your nose for a count of 4. Feel your belly rise. Pause for 2. Exhale through your mouth with the vibrating sound for a count of 8. Feeling your belly slowly descend. If a count of 8 is too long at first, start with 6 and gradually increase. The key is that the exhale is significantly longer than the inhale. Don't worry about doing it perfectly at first. The simple act of focusing on your breath and the sound will begin to shift your physiological state. Over the 3 minutes, you might notice a few sensations. Your heart rate may slow, your shoulders might relax. The mental static that makes up brain fog might start to dissipate, like mist slowly clearing with the morning sun. You are, in effect, changing your brain's chemistry, lowering stress hormones, and increasing safety signals. It's a direct communication with the most primitive part of your brain, using the language it understands, breath and vibration. At the end of the 3 minutes, before you open your eyes and return to your activities, take a moment to simply observe how you feel. Notice the stillness. Notice the clarity. This is the immediate effect of activating your parasympathetic nervous system. This exercise isn't just a reactive tool for when brain fog strikes. It's a proactive practice of neural hygiene. Doing this once or twice a day can help train your vagus nerve, making it stronger and more resilient. The real power of this practice, as I mentioned, lies in consistency. Think of it like a workout for your nervous system. You don't go to the gym once and expect to have strong muscles for life. Similarly, regular vagus nerve stimulation helps build more robust vagal tone. For us, over 50, this is particularly crucial. As we age, our nervous system's resilience can naturally diminish, and low-grade chronic inflammation levels tend to increase. Chronic inflammation is now considered a major driver behind many age-related diseases, including cognitive decline. By regularly practicing this 3-minute exercise, you are actively countering that trend. You are teaching your body to exit stress mode more easily, and enter into recovery and repair mode, which is where long-term health magic happens. Increased vagal tone is linked not only to better cognitive function, but also to improved digestion, more restful sleep, and a more balanced immune system. So, while the 3-minute trick is fantastic for immediate relief, see it as a gateway to deeper, more sustained well-being. It's a small daily action that yields a big return for your brain and body health for decades to come. And the beauty of it is, this tool is always with you, costs nothing, and can be used anywhere. Beyond this breathing exercise, there are other simple and safe ways to support and tone your vagus nerve, integrating them into your daily life. A holistic approach always yields the best results. For example, cold exposure can be a powerful vagal stimulant. You don't need ice baths. Simply finishing your shower with 30 seconds of cold water, or even splashing your face with cold water can be enough to trigger the dive reflex, which stimulates the vagus nerve. Singing, gargling, or even laughing out loud also work on the same principle as humming. Vibration in the throat activates nerve fibers. Positive social connection and the sense of safety it provides are also known to boost vagal tone. The gut, being so densely connected to the brain via the vagus nerve, plays a key role. Consuming a diet rich in fiber, prebiotics and probiotics to nourish a healthy gut microbiome can directly improve vagal signaling. It's important to note that while these practices are generally very safe, you should always listen to your body. If you feel dizzy during the breathing exercise, stop and breathe normally. If you're starting with cold exposure, go gently. The key is gentle, consistent stimulation, not shock or stress to the system. These are powerful tools for self-health management, but it's crucial to understand they are part of a larger picture and not a substitute for professional medical evaluation. And that brings us to the most crucial point of all, our medical disclaimer. While this simple neural trick is a fantastic science-backed tool for helping to modulate the nervous system and alleviate the feeling of brain fog, it is imperative to understand that brain fog can be a symptom of underlying medical conditions that require professional attention. It could be a sign of hormonal imbalances, such as thyroid issues, nutritional deficiencies, especially in vitamin B12, anemia, sleep apnea, or even more serious neurological conditions. Therefore, use this technique as a support, a way to manage symptoms and improve your overall resilience, but not as a substitute for proper diagnosis. If your brain fog is persistent, severe, has suddenly worsened, or is accompanied by other concerning symptoms like headaches, dizziness, numbness, or balance problems, it is absolutely essential that you see a doctor. A healthcare professional can perform the necessary tests to rule out other causes and ensure you receive the correct treatment. Think of this 3-minute exercise as a valuable part of your wellness toolkit. But remember, your doctor is the primary architect of your health plan. If this in-depth guide was helpful, please share it with someone who might also benefit. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Leave a comment. Have you ever tried any techniques to activate your vagus nerve?